Now, if we want to add a custom part that we have created to the catalog, we have to prep the part first. So in Plant 3D, you can use regular AutoCAD 3D modeling techniques to create your solid part. So what are 3D things? I know that may be familiar to some people or maybe not. So we'll go ahead and go over exactly what I mean by creating something in 3D AutoCAD, as most people only have experience with the 2D AutoCAD. So what I'm going to do is right there within your 3D piping, you do have a modeling area. Now, most people do know their regular AutoCAD functions, but let's just create something as simple as an elbow. And we'll just go ahead and type line. There's actually more than one way you could do this, but I'll just try to keep this simple. And we'll do this with a line and arc command. We'll go ahead and we'll draw a line. And I'll go ahead and I'm going to make this elbow part. I'll just go ahead and make it about 6 inches. Of course, you make it to whatever specifications that you need. I'll keep that at a 90-degree turn. And let me zoom in here so we can see what we're doing. We'll go ahead and enter this. Now, I find one of the easier ways to add to this is just to use a continue arc. And if you notice, it'll continue right here. I want to go ahead and make this about a 4-inch elbow. So I'm going to double the diameter of the elbow to make my radius. And then, of course, you'll construct it to whatever your particular needs are. And I'll keep that angle 45 degrees from the other one, which would bring it about at 135. So when I type that in, you see we have a pretty nice little arc there, and then I'll finish it off with another line. I'll use my endpoint to join to that. And keeping in line, I'll go ahead and draw another 6-inch line, and this time our angle is going to be at 180. Okay, so just to make sure all of this stays in line, I'm going to go ahead and join these together and make a polyline out of it. So I'll just go ahead and click these items together. And now if I hover over that, it is a polyline. All right, very good. Now what we're going to do something that's called a sweep function. But what we're going to do is we're going to put the outline of the pipe on here. So I'll go ahead and I'll switch to a front view. Actually, this one's going to be a right view. And I did that in your coordinates panel. And I just used this drop down to switch to the right view. And what that's going to allow me to do is put a circle on here. But it's going to be at on the right plane. So I'm going to use my endpoint to snap to the end of that line. And then I'll just see that's radius. So that'll be a radius of 2. And now I'm ready to do what's called sweeping it to make it a 3D part. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and invoke the command sweep rather than changing ribbons. It's going to ask me for the object to sweep, which is basically going to be the profile of the part. I'll right click and enter that. And then I'll pick my polyline as the path. And now you have yourself a 3D elbow, or at least a representation of one. Now this part is still not ready to be put into Plant 3D, and one reason because of that is it hasn't been converted, but even before that you have to change it into an AutoCAD block. As you can see right now, it's only a 3D solid. So let's go ahead and use our shortcut B for block, and then we're going to go ahead and convert this into a block. So let's go ahead and call this a custom for elbow. Okay, we will specify the object on screen. We'll just pick that solid. And now everything else will work for us. We don't need it to be exploded, and we do want it converted into a block. So if we OK this and we hover over it now, you can see it is a block reference. Now the last step to prepare this to be a plant object is that we have to do a conversion to it. And the command for this is called plant part convert. So we'll just go ahead and dynamic entry this. And you'll see it will come up probably before you have a chance to finish typing it. What you need to do is go ahead and pick the block that you wish to convert. Now, of course, this elbow is going to have 2 ports on it, so we have to add those ports at this time. We'll go ahead and do add. Now, I'm going to make sure that I have my ortho on because I want to make sure that that port is straight and perpendicular. And I'm also going to use my center snap to make sure that I snap right on here and that I have this port going in that direction. I'm going to accept that. I'm going to add another port, of course, to the other side. And then I'm going to use my center snap again. And I'm going to pull that out and I'm going to accept that. And then I'm going to exit. And now this block is prepared to be taken into the next step of actually being opened up in the catalog and saved as an AutoCAD Plant 3D part.